afternoon, you guys, it's Karen, and I thought I would come and do a 5-year blepharoplasty update because I have been thinking about it. I think because I'm hating my under eyes just now. The bags are looking pretty bad. Some days worse than others, you know, but I've been thinking, I know that the best thing for it is to have an under eye blepharoplasty. And I thought, I wonder what the difference is now, 5 years later, to when I had the blepharoplasty and before it, because as you guys know, if you followed me back then, I didn't think it was a success at all. So I've got some pictures here, so I'm going to put some pictures up and have a look and see what we think. Like I said, it was five and a half years ago actually that I had it done. Okay, so the first picture I'm putting in, this shows you before I had the surgery, so December 2018, and then what is that, 4 months afterwards in April 2019. And this is where I just feel like it failed me, if you know what I mean, because to me there was no difference whatsoever, like at all. In fact, it almost looked worse in the second picture, in the after picture. And what I noticed, and still can notice, is that I felt like there was less space, like my eyebrows had pulled down, you know, which when I looked into it is a possibility of brow compensation, as they say, that the brows kind of pull down. And so that's what I was unhappy with. I didn't feel like there was any difference at all. And looking at that now, I still agree with myself. That, you know, my right eye, left as you're looking at it, to me looks identical. In fact, I was looking at it and I thought, did I actually put the same picture in? But I was looking at all the different things, like there's a little random grey hair on my eyebrow and it isn't there on the second one. So I was like, no, I definitely got the right photos, you know. So that was the situation at the time. Now I took a picture of my eyes closed before having the surgery, and then I took a picture just the other day of my eyes closed with no makeup on, both of them with no makeup on. And I know that I didn't have any Botox at all. Just whenever I took the photos, I've checked the dates and in my calendar to make sure that I hadn't had any Botox, and I didn't. Now looking at these pictures, I'm really surprised, because this is where I can see the biggest difference. And I did wonder whether, with all this time having passed, that I wouldn't have been surprised if they looked the same. And I was actually expecting them to look worse, and thought I'd be surprised if they didn't look any worse, because 5 years have passed and I've got older, you know, and definitely I can see the difference in my under eyes. But actually looking at this picture here, it looks better. You can actually see here that there was more skin on my eyelids then, and there isn't now, you know. And I feel like I've got the space in my eyes from my lid to my brow, I've got that back as well. And there's, like I said, I haven't had Botox or anything recently. So I was really pleasantly surprised with that picture. The next set of pictures is just a before and after, but with no makeup on, of me more or less looking straight forward. I noticed in that second picture I'm not 100% looking straightforward. I never seem to be able to get matching photos. I do try to match the tone and everything if I can, you know, the colour, but I don't see much of a difference. But if pushed, I would say that it looks better in the right hand photo, because if you look at my right eye, then I'll try and put a sort of arrow in. There's a lot more crinkling on the before picture and not so much on the after one. Although there's as much skin, I feel like, if not more, on my left eye. It looks like it's a little bit more hooded. But the skin is a little bit smoother and a little bit less wrinkled. So that's the photos. I don't know how much information that gives us, because especially recently, I don't know how much faith I have in what I'm watching back when I'm editing my videos. So I don't have much faith in photos, because it depends on so many things. It depends on, like, my before and after pictures depends on the lighting, and I can never recreate the exact lighting. For a start, I had a ring light back then. I don't have a ring light now. I was using a different mode of filming, a different camera, so I have a different camera now. But it depends whether you film on the camera or the phone, clearly, or whether I take pictures on a phone or a camera. So pictures vary in that way. It depends if I'm tired, if I've had enough to drink, so many different things. And I find that the angle of my head is the hardest to get. You know, I used to try and just sort of lean on my hand like this, so I thought, well, that'll always be right, you know, but you almost need to have like a point on the wall that you look at or something. I don't know. It's just not something I've ever managed, I suppose, because one of the things with having Ehlers-Danlos is you don't have great proprioception. You don't have a great awareness of where you are in space, you know, and I've had like people like opticians say, you know, look left, no, look left, you know, and I think I'm looking left, or look straight on and I'm looking left, that kind of thing. And there's a difference in this house, whether I look, you know, certain mirrors, I'm like, oh, I don't like that, and go and have a look in another mirror and it looks completely different, you know. Like my husband's always telling me, I'll say to him, oh my God, that spot's huge. And he's like, no, you've just looked in the bathroom mirror and there's no light in there, you know. And so I think it comes down to what you're seeing in the mirror and if you like that, you know. And I have to say, my eyes, the top, my lids and eyelid area has bothered me less in the years since having the blepharoplasty. And the whole experience, I don't regret. I don't regret having it done at all, because I desperately wanted it done. I wanted it done immediately. I thought it would be not a quick fix, but, you know, I thought that was going to be, I'd have lovely smooth eyelids. And I forgot to understand that my eyes were always, you know, always had that type of shape, and they're always going to be hooded. They were never going to be the sort of smooth lid that I wanted them to be. And I feel like I'm no longer wondering what would happen if I had blepharoplasty, because I had it and it didn't do exactly what I wanted to do at the time. What I regret is not taking longer to choose a surgeon. Not taking longer to choose, but the surgeons I wanted to go to, there were two. I think they were called the Quabers. I think that's their names. Both Dr. Quaber. One was the father, one's the son. And they were known for blepharoplasty. And Edinburgh is where I had it done. But instead of waiting the 2 years that they both had a 2-year waiting list to have it done, instead of waiting that time, I went to, I can't even remember his name, but he was a plastic surgeon. And he had great reviews, and he was like, he reconstructed faces. And so to me, that was really good experience, you know, but I should have gone with somebody that had great experience in blepharoplasty. So that's the part that I regret. I wish I had have waited the 2 years. In fact, saying that, you know what, in some ways, but it's only knowing what I know now, but in some ways I wish I'd have not had it done at all, and then I would maybe have upper and lower done now, because I know that the lower would help a lot with the bags and, you know, dark circles under my eyes. I'm often standing in the mirror doing this and like, oh, that I remember when my eyes were like that. That would be lovely to have them like that again, you know. So hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But like I said, I don't regret it because it's what I wanted at the time, and so it served its purpose, even though it wasn't the outcome I wanted. It served its purpose in that I had it done, and I was like, okay, I've had it done now. I can't just be lying at night dreaming that if I have this surgery, that'll be the thing that makes me feel confident, because it didn't work like that. I don't know what the problem is with my eye in the corner here, but I've told you guys many, many times that I have problem putting eyeshadow on, and that has been since the blepharoplasty. I don't know whether it's scar tissue there. I can't see anything. But when I put a shadow on, even if I just put a shadow in my crease, it catches right there. And I cannot blend it out for love nor money. And so I cannot now get even eyeshadow. I can end up with something that I don't know. Hopefully you won't notice that it's uneven. It would be really close scrutiny, and it takes a lot of work to get it looking even nowadays. And so I'm disappointed in that respect. You know, I wish that it was a bit more perfect. That is annoying, and especially because I don't know why it happened. And I've used a fair few TCA peels because I thought that they were helping for a while, but it seemed to only help. It seems to only be very temporary. I don't know whether if I did more of them, you know, if I did them more regularly, maybe it would be a bit more longer lasting, but it's not gradually improving, if that makes sense. It's just every time I did it, I was like, oh yeah, that's helped a little bit. I need to do more of them. But since not doing them, the problem is still there. So yeah, like I said, I'm not even sure what it is. It's just, don't know whether it's a fold of skin that I can't really see, or whether it's dry skin. I don't know. I've tried moisturising them. I've tried everything. I would love to have the under eye surgery now, the under eye blepharoplasty. There's a few reasons why I don't. Money, you know, it's not a cheap thing. It's like, actually, when I looked it up, it seemed to be about £5,000 for the lower. And I don't know whether it's more work for the lower because I've never had a consultation for that. But I'm pretty sure my upper was only, not only because it's a lot of money, but I think it was 3,000. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was 5,000, but I feel like it was 3,000. And like I said, that was 5 years ago and everything's gone up. So I don't know. I give all the details in all of my videos. You know, I did a whole diary and showed you me healing and etc, etc. None of that bothers me. You know, that didn't bother me at all. And if I had my under eyes done, I feel like I need to wait until it's a bit worse before having it done, before being able to fully feel the benefit, if that makes sense. And there's something else I want to try called polynucleotides. Let me know if anybody's tried it, how you found it. I think it's going to be really painful, but I really want to try it because my under eyes really bother me. But the only thing is, if I had surgery done again, I would want it done in the same way, i.e. under local anaesthetic. I don't want to be put out. I don't want a general anaesthetic. I feel like with my heart, you know, I've got heart irregularities, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. I've got all of the risks and genetics for heart issues. I think that it would be silly of me to risk going under general anaesthetic for something cosmetic. So I would only do it if I could have it done under anaesthetic, local anaesthetic. There wasn't many people that did that. That's another reason why I chose this particular surgeon, because I wanted to be awake. And he was saying he didn't do it on everybody. He like assessed the candidate and assessed me to be okay. But I don't think it's something that would be easy to find. And I don't think it would be easy to find somebody to do under local anaesthetic. From what I've seen, I've looked into it a little bit, and from what I can see, it needs to be under general anaesthetic. So yeah, that's everything. If I could rewind my life and go back to that moment and still have all of this knowledge that I have now, I would, like I said, wait the 2 years and have it done by one of the Quabas. And I think that's the only thing I would change. But I wouldn't not have it done if there was the opportunity, because looking at those photos, there does look like there's some improvement. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on. I hope that was interesting. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, let me tell you what I'm wearing. I've got on HMB Cosmetics foundation. I just love this in, not necessarily in real life, because when I just looked in the mirror there in the bathroom, this shows you again looking in different mirrors. In the bathroom, it looked quite cakey, and I was like, oh wow, is that because I've got a film on my living room, because on my living room patio windows, because they're just massive patio windows. It's a whole wall of window, as you've probably seen, and we've got a film on it because it was getting too hot in that room. Sometimes Watson was laying there and I'm like, I'm surprised he's not cooked and like passed away, and I'll find him like cooked like meat, you know. It wasn't easy to film in because the light would shine like right in everything I was trying to do. Again, you'll probably remember we're doing some videos there. Anyway, what it means, I think, is that I don't have as much light. Obviously, I don't have as much light coming in. And so doing my makeup, it's kind of a different, when I look in different mirrors, you know. What was my point in that? Oh, the point is this foundation, HMB Cosmetics. So it doesn't look cakey when I put it on, but when I looked in the bathroom mirror, it did. And I did actually put the bathroom light on, you know, the mirror light. What have I got on my eyes? On my eyes, it's the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude. I really like this colour as well. I'm surprised. It's a colour that looking at in the pan, I would have gone, yeah, I'm not going to like that. But I wanted to try and make sure I tried every colour, you know. On my cheeks is the KVD blush in Rosebud. On my lips is, I think it's just Caramello. Yeah, Stila liquid lipstick in Caramello. And that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. I'll speak to you again soon.